Okay, Tim McDowell. I'm with Washington State Department of Transportation. I'm just going to kind of talk about how we use 4.9. And then did the slides advance? Of course not.
They
They're
did.
advancing,
We're
yeah.
seeing they're advancing.
Okay, they're advancing. Okay. So Washington State Department of Transportation, we do have a statewide LMR system of about 140 sites. From that LMR system in Washington State, we actually operate two different microwave systems. The State Patrol has a statewide multiple loop system that operates mission critical voice and mission critical data. And then the Washington State Department of Transportation spurs off of that system. We have over 400 last mile 4.9 locations that are primary in the rural part of the state. We operate variable message signs, variable speed limit signs, pan, tilt, zoom cameras, remote weather stations. We manage and control gates and signs for our floating bridge openings, highway advisory radio. We do some signal timing. We will home run fiber to specific ITS cabinets, Intelligent Transportation System cabinets, and then we'll use 4.9 to bring that back to one of our microwave locations. We also use it for some of our LMR connectivity and really short haul from building to building. If you go to the DOT, Washington State DOT's website, if you look at our real-time images, you'll actually see, and there's a link to that, so I'll share this with everyone. But you can see that all of our mountain passes, if you go and you look at any of the images or information that come off of those mountain passes, all of that information is brought back on 4.9 point-to-point or point-to-multipoint systems back to our microwave backhaul and then to our local TMCs. Some of the other uses that we have used 4.9 for is we've used it for emergency repair of microwave or fiber systems. We had a rollover of a diesel rig that poured diesel fuel all over right where our fiber was, and they had to dig that all up and get rid of that soil. And in doing that, it ripped up fiber. And we were able to 4.9 a link across that to kind of splice that together midair as they were completing the cleanup. We've also used it in designs of fiber in two different directions in a roadside. So one end would be connected to our traffic management center, and the other end of it would be up north somewhere. And then we would just kind of build out until we met the fiber in the middle, and using 4.9 to kind of bridge that gap as we went along. Part of our temporary building to buildings, if we have like an office that needs to go in temporarily, or we need to temporarily get out of an office for something like asbestos, we're able to use 4.9 to kind of bridge those buildings together and get back on our IT systems within the agency. 4.9 for us has been very easy to install. Typically how we call it a pizza box. So you have that small, either 12 by 12 or 18 by 18 box that we're able to put that on just about any structure, poles, towers, buildings, light standards, and using power over Ethernet, Cat6 type cabling. It makes it a pretty easy install to do and can operate on those types of structures. We've found it to have very good performance, even in bad weather conditions. As you can see one of those pictures, it's one of our towers that's completely iced up with Rhine ice, and our 4.9 link operated just fine through that. On our roadsides, we also use it as relay points. You can see in the picture up on the upper left, there's a 4.9 at the bottom, and then at the top of that pole. And we're kind of bridging the gap and daisy chaining it as we go down the highway. There is enough spectrum in 4.9 to actually operate 2 different access points from the same location. I kind of have a better picture of that in the next slide here. As you can see, this is one of our mountain passes, and our LMR site called Dodge Ridge. We're able to have access points going in 2 different directions and be able to pull all those roadside devices back to that site, and then using our licensed microwave, able to get all that data and images back to our traffic management center so we can manage that mountain pass. And that's all I have for the use of 4.9 for Washington State Department of Transportation.